So to you, Rhonda, we say thank you and congratulations as well. Keep doing well, what to do. She's inspiring all of us, Peter, you included. Yeah, he's a yeah. To join the National Seniors Games. Remember, it only started this weekend. It continues for the next few weekends. But there's so much going on. So find out more about it and sign up. It's free. Let's get out there, have a really good time and support our seniors as well, as they too themselves have a great time stretching beyond sometimes their imagination. We met Steve here on Friday. He's 70 years old. In his youth, he was not an athlete. In his senior years, he is an athlete with enough medals, gold and silver and bronze, and has traveled the world to represent Barbados as well. Just goes to show your life continues. It's not the end of the world indeed, but you can get up and get going. Get up and get going indeed. All right, so coming up today, we're going to spend some time in the Parish of St. George. As you know, St. John is now complete. St. George, we're gathering in St. George indeed. But also this morning, we're celebrating 20 years of really what is tremendous work by a man who continues to empower other people. And I always wondered, why? What do you get out of all of this? We'll talk to him in just a little while as we celebrate his 20th year in the business. I know you're curious as to wondering, who is he? Hold that thought. He's going to join us in just a moment. Now, have you heard of the upcoming Spirit of the Lion show? We know the Spirit of the Nation show, but have you heard of the Spirit of the Lion show? That's happening in a few days, and so the people behind that will join us this morning. You'll get to meet some of those who are participating in that Spirit of the Lion show. And today we'll get to know what St. George has planned for this month of June as they turn attention to the land. That's their theme, and we want to find out from them just what's on the plan for St. George as we gather there all month June. But you know me, 6:30 after 6 o'clock, I'm starting with a riddle. I am starting with a riddle because you want to start with a riddle. And you know what? I think you ought to as well. So get ready to work your brains right now. Time for you to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. So to Christopher, who yesterday found himself in the book of riddles, this is my godson, and suddenly he became the riddler. He's asking me all the questions. Chris, see if you can answer any of these indeed. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Here we go. Question 1. Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday? Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday? That's your challenge. I dare you to take it up. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Got you good, right? Can't figure it out. So can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday? That's hard. Pearson, that is so hard. I know, and that's why I'm giving it to you. Because I believe in you. I believe you can solve this. I can't wait to tell you you're wrong too. So call me now. Can you name 3 consecutive days without using the words Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday? 3 consecutive days. They fall day after day after day. And not day, miss one, next day. Consecutive means they follow one after the other in order. So can you name those 3 days? It is simple, for real. As a matter of fact, these days are days that you use all the time. And somehow you'd never realized that they are days. Perhaps you do, but you just don't know the answer, right? 228-5562 or 63. Good morning. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Pearson.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I am okay. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Welcome to Monday. How was your weekend?
Well, it was okay.
No. Your weekend was only okay?
Yeah.
In other words, you did little to nothing, right?
Precisely.
And somehow something tells me you did not go to church.
No.
You didn't?
No.
See what I tell you? That is why you did little to nothing. If you had to get up and go to church, you will find a lot to do, I guarantee you. So what did you do on Saturday, just out of curiosity?
Saturday? Well, I did some assignments that I had to complete.
On your weekend?
Yeah.
Just again, out of curiosity, what are some of those assignments, if you don't mind sharing just one? This is for school or something?
No, this is a personal assignment.
Oh, personal assignments. All right, fair enough. So were you able to finish all of them?
I got maybe 2 of them done.
2 of them. And how many were you to do?
4.
4. So there are 2 more to go.
Yeah.
50% for you. And on Sunday?
Oh, Sunday is just complete rest. Help out with some cooking, and that was it.
In other words, Saturday stress you out. You're laughing? So much so you had to take a rest on Sunday. See me, I ain't doing nothing today. That's what you said to yourself. That's all right. So where are you watching from, by the way? What parish?
St. Michael.
St. Michael. All right. Do you think you know the answer for me?
I'm going to try this
Sure.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
No, consecutive days. They have to follow one after the other.
Consecutive.
So Monday, Tuesday, next to follow would be? Come say it, say it, say it, say it, say it. Listen, hold on a sec. You know, on Sesame Street, there was a song, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. You remember that one?
No.
You have not watched Sesame Street, girl. Sesame Street, there was this man who, he was a little slow. Eliza was there in her rocking chair, rocking away. He came, oh, Eliza, there's a hole in the bucket. What do I do? So she's encouraged him to do different things. And somehow with everything that she suggested he did, it wasn't solved. And every time he returned to her, she was there like, say it, say it, say it. It was so funny. Anyway, watch it when you get a chance.
So let me try the answer one more time then.
Go ahead, let me hear you.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Where did you go for that?
Nowhere. I just remembered I heard this riddle somewhere before.
Oh, so suddenly, because I kept talking, you remembered that you heard the riddle before.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
and answer this one. You're right, by the way. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Those are the 3 consecutive. Yes.
Yes.
Well done.
Is right.
Try this one now. Listen, try this one since you don't have time to do it. You see a boat filled with people, right? It has not sunk. But when you look again, you don't see a single person on that boat. Why?
I see a boat filled with
People, it has not sunk. But when you look again, you don't see a single person on that boat. Why? Time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks for trying, indeed. Got you good. No, got you good. You think you could trick me, You really, really thought I was born Monday night. No, sister. As a matter of fact, I was born on a Wednesday. So, Wednesday's children are the best. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Call me now. You see a boat filled with people. It has not sunk. But when you look again, you don't see a single person on the boat. I would like to know from you why. Why is that possible? Or even how is that remotely possible? A boat filled with people, it did not sink. But somehow again, when you look again, you don't see a single person on that boat. Why? How did that happen? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi. Oh, you perky enough. Good morning.
Hello, this is Beverly.
Hello, Beverly. It is you. You're ready for me, right?
I hope I have an answer.
I hope so, for your sake, too. So how was your weekend, Bev?
Oh, my weekend was pretty good.
What is that? What did you do?
Well, on Saturday I did usual home chores, and on Sunday I went to church, and then I went shopping.
On Sunday?
Yeah?
What did the Lord tell you to do on a Sunday?
To do whatever I have to get done.
Where in the Bible is that? Genesis chapter 0. To do whatever I have to get done. You think you could trick me in a... All right, so Beverly, what do you think is the answer?
I think the boat went beyond the horizon.
Ah, so it was an optical illusion.
Yeah.
And that's what you worked out in your head.
I have 2 answers. That was the first. Is that correct?
What's your second, as I'll ask you, but what's your second answer?
My second answer is that they went below deck.
That the people went below deck. So one is that the boat went beyond the horizon and it fell off the earth.
No, it was for last year.
I thought you were back in Columbus days. And
Because the earth is round.
I know they discovered that eventually. But can you imagine being born in those days when all you saw was the horizon and you did not know what happened beyond that point? Can you imagine?
It must be frightening.
It had to be frightening indeed. And so your second answer was that everyone went below deck.
Mm-hmm.
You
I was
are.
just being practical.
That's fine, Beverly. I like when you're being practical, but I also like when you're wrong. Even more. Thanks, Bev.
All right, so none of them are correct.
Not a single one.
Okay. It might be something a little more technical then.
Perhaps, but you
All
can
right,
figure
I will
it out.
think again. I will
know
think
you
again.
will. I know you will.
All right,
She's coming at
okay.
me again, you know. She coming
All
at me
right.
again. Thanks, Bev. Have a good morning indeed. More to come. I promise you, more to come. I love it when you all get it wrong. Good. As if we say in Bajan, da for one. Oh, we have another. Okay. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Pearson.
Is this Billy?
Monica.
Monica. All right. You see, all y'all are lining up to challenge me today. Cool. So, Monica, how was your weekend? I'll ask you the same questions.
It was good.
What did you do on Saturday?
On Saturday, I had a family funeral.
My condolences.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
yesterday, I went into the tent.
you went to Calypso tent yesterday?
Yes, please.
Which one?
All Stars.
And
It was nice.
I don't understand that comment. It was nice.
It was good.
That's like going to a tea party. It was nice.
It was good.
Okay, what about it made it so good?
The Calypsonians.
And anything
You
else?
know, it can't get all good, but some were well with
So you were satisfied with the money spent?
Yes,
Were you there on your own or do you travel with
on
some
my
others?
own. I travel on my own.
Do you do that off every year? You go by
Yes.
yourself to the tents?
Yes, please. I meet friends.
Oh. So did you make any friends yesterday?
Of course. I
Who
met
did-
one lady last night,
Do you remember her name?
Chloe.
Chloe.
Yes, and I took her home too because it so happened she lives near to where I live.
Oh, so it just happens now to be your neighbor.
No,
Are you-
not so close, but
Okay, but in your area, are you one of these friendly people who, you meet people and you just automatically struck up a conversation? Are you one of those people?
it depends
And?
on how the type of person they are.
Oh, so somehow Chloe was the person for you to feel comfortable to talk to?
Yes, please.
All right, fair enough. Did you cook?
If I cook,
Uh-huh.
yes,
What-
I just cook all the time on my cooking.
What did you cook for Sunday meal?
Yesterday I had black beans and rice.
Black beans
I
and
had
rice.
baked chicken.
Uh-huh.
I have veg. And that was it. Just do something simple.
Why did you... Simple?
No pie.
Simple?
Yes.
Listen, I saw something online this weekend that said, why do you spend 2 hours cooking to only have 10 minutes and then you go to sleep? Why?
You know that's getting the greatest so they eat my
Right
food.
away.
So every time that I go to sleep.
I don't even like what I cook. That's the truth.
Why?
I don't know. I just prefer
Like,
to
I
eat.
just do and of course, and I cook rice and I just eating vegetable or fish or chicken. I do chicken or fish too.
And then you ask yourself, why did I spend all this time doing all of this, right? Right. All right. All right, Monica, give me
Yes,
an answer. Give me an answer.
They were single. The single meaning that they were not nobody
I
single
didn't
on
say
the boat.
that.
They were married people on the boat.
Listen to me. You see a boat filled with people. It
Yes.
has not sunk. But when you look back, you don't see a single person on that
Because
boat.
the single people mean they are married people on the boat. They are couples.
That makes sense to you.
Yes, they're couples on the boat. They're married people if they're not single.
Monica, stop and think for a second again. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, Pearson.
You look back and you don't see a single person on the boat. How can you see?
They're married people
How can you see they're married?
because it's single.
How can you see that
it's
they
not
are?
single. As in single, it's in the married status.
How can you look at someone and tell they're married?
They're couples. They're all both each.
You don't hear me at all. You listen to me. You are so
Pearson,
convinced.
You
Yes.
just give me a run for my money when the morning comes. That's what I call.
I'm trying to make sense of it with you. So that's all. How can you look at someone and see whether or not they are married?
It is a married couple, though. I don't care if you tell me they're married. They're not single. They are married.
So you're hooking on the word single.
Yes.
All right, Monica.
They're not. Yes.
All right, Monica. All right, Monica.
Ah.
You're right. Thank you, okay?
Have a good day.
Likewise to you, Monica. Indeed.
Thank you.
She got it. She finally got it. All right. Almost 20 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. I've spent enough time having a joke with y'all. Now let's get serious. We'll take a break and we're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 22 minutes now after 6 o'clock on Saturday at Poolwoods in St. John. Everybody gathered there. Did you go? Did any of you go? Or did any of you hear about or watched or see anything about what happened at Poolwoods St. John? One heart, one St. John. And remember, it was, as our girl from the NCF was reminding us, it was the community, the avenue of community. And so in all of that, we're going to share with you, I'll change up Pearson, we're going to share with you in just a little while. But there's a man here with me, sitting across from me as a matter of fact, who's marking 20 years in the business. 20 years is not a yesterday. 20 years is a long time. And why has he stayed with it over 20 years? But who is he? He's Randy Eastman. Randy Eastman, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are more than welcome. Congratulations, first of all, on
Thank
20
you so much.
years.
Thank you so much.
The late Dennis Johnson believed in you.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. That was my guy.
Yeah. What is it about you do you think it is that he clued into?
I'm not sure. I think Dennis has been following my career from a very young age. I think the enthusiasm, the drive to want to help and guide young people, I think that was one of the motivating factors for him to want to follow and understand the journey that it was on at that point in time. So, yeah, really.
I mean, you're still a young man yourself.
Yeah.
How did your interest in, I'm going to, not the music part yet, in helping young people develop, where did that come from? When did that start? Do you recall?
I believe, naturally maybe from cadets. And understanding from a very young age that this is an organization that pretty much funneled young people and helped them to channel their energies in a positive direction, and seeing the outcomes, the transformations, the change, persons like myself and other persons who would have joined with me, the discipline that was instilled and how that caused a huge transformation. I said, you know, I want to be a part of that transformation for other people. And as I grew in the ranks in cadets and then having responsibility for younger persons and subordinates, seeing the influence they had on persons and being able to make that positive change, that really inspired me. and I knew from then that I would be working with young persons.
Were you yourself indisciplined, do you think?
Sometimes.
Who wasn't, right?
Yeah, it's true. We all had our days, you know. We all had our days. Yeah.
Describe for me the area in which you grew up.
I grew up in the area of Vauxhall, Christchurch. Big up to everybody in Vauxhall. That's right there, just before the Globe Drive-In and before Sheraton Mall. Yeah. Pretty open area. You know, we had different types of personalities growing up, but a very loving community, very sharing type community, very open type community. I was able to participate in sports, cricket. I love basketball. The community was so close that there was a netball team there, and the basketballers would play against the netballers, etc. But as my love for music grew, I found myself attached more to my studio or to rehearsals. So, yeah, but I was always community oriented, wanted to be a part of things happening in the community, sharing the community, hosting concerts within the community, etc. So, lovely area.
What triggered the love of music?
The love of music, I would have to blame that on my mom, my dad, and my grandmother. Yes.
Why?
Because I think from 5 years old they decided to send me to piano lessons, and then the fact that they played music in the house every single day. In the car, there's music. They're dancing to it, you know, singing along. My dad played trumpet when he was at the law school. We got to Randy Eastman. He was in the cadet band as well. So him telling me the stories of him playing trumpet and the responses he got, that sparked some level of interest. My mom was very interested in singing. I would hear her singing karaoke. I would hear my dad singing karaoke as well. My grandmother, beautiful singer as well, in the choir and harmonizing with the hymns when they come on the radio. And like, how she getting that done? You know, somebody singing something else, but she's singing, you know, an accompanying melody, and it sounded really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, it sounded sweet. I obviously didn't understand what it was, but I would always love to sit and listen to hear her sing. So I think I can blame that initial interest on them, and then further on, primary school, at the Combat Primary School, Mr. Lester Messiah, his music lessons. But I think the most influence came when I joined the ranks of the Cadet Corps and the Barbados Cadet Corps Band at the greatest school in Barbados.
Courage and Paris.
No, the Colombier School, the Waterford University. Waterford University, yes. And hearing the cadet band play in the first week of orientation, I was like, I have to be able to play with these guys. Also, influences like the Soca Monarch Band and the festival band. My mom would take me to shows to hear bands play, not knowing that that was actually stoking a fire. And I said when I was very young, I told her I'm going to play in one of those bands one of these days. And when that opportunity finally came years later, that was an amazing moment for me, honestly.
You stumbled upon something I think that works for a lot of people. I hope parents and children listening today pay attention, because your curiosity was one thing, that was just your curiosity, but because of the exposure by the parent to all of the avenues and the venues and hearing other people perform is what really propelled you forward.
Yes, yeah.
And many times, you know, you encounter parents who don't play that role.
No. And as a teacher, I saw that several times, and I always try to encourage parents that to get involved in the children's life, get them involved in activity, because it expands their thinking, it expands their horizons. As you said, it piques their curiosity. You have to do those kind of things to get children involved and get them engaged.
But having the curiosity and the interest is one thing, but you decided you're going to take this on seriously and formalize your training in what you do. Where did you go first to say, you know what, I want to take on some music lessons here?
Personally, I think it was invoked rather than taking the choice. Being a member of the cadet band, you had to go to music lessons to play. You had to learn to play. So at the Colombier School, I think that would have been my first exposure to formal music lessons. Apart from the 5-year piano lessons, that didn't last very long. But at the Colombier School, there was an after-school program. The Barbados Police Service, or Police Force Band at that time, they would come into the school and offer lessons in various instruments. So fortunately, I was exposed to music theory during the regular class time with Mr. Victor Pilgrim, may he rest in peace. Then after school, Litchfield Nurse, Pernell Farley, Minister Ryan Strong, he was a senior cadet at the time, and he was actually the bandmaster. So you would have to go into the training room every afternoon, and you run your scales, you do your exercises, practice how to learn how to read music, etc. So I would say around 11 years old was my first exposure to music lessons.
You really rubbed shoulders with some big names. You called big names just now. Victor Pilgrim, Litchfield Nurse, and the like.
Yeah.
And so being in their presence, were you aware at the time of their genius?
No, to be honest. I think being that young and non-exposed, you take things for granted. You don't know who you're with. And it's only when I got into the senior school and you heard the stories coming out, you're exposed to greater levels of conversation. You're building relationships with teachers now, and they're having mature conversation with you. Then you start to understand the type of persons that you're around, you know. And I don't think at the young age I understood who they were, not until about 17 or 18.
But you understand now?
I know, definitely. Let me tell you, it was a privilege.
I'm sure. I mean, you dropped some names in that I wished I had the opportunity to work alongside, so that's great work. But we'll continue your journey over 20 years with Randy Eastman. It's 6:30. We're coming back in just a moment.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a truth.
Quantum Productions.
This party's sweet. What's this? What's this? Come! It's 1:30 in the morning, and I get a call on my phone. All night is me woman calling. Want to know when I'm coming home. I tell she I ain't leaving. I tell she I ain't leaving. Cause this party full of vibes. I jumping up and be trying. I feel like jamming all night. So I ain't care what you think. Drinks now got to drink. So I'm sorry for you, cause the bossy no link. I ain't care what you think. Drinks now got to drink. And only women walking up. Stink, stink, stink. I ain't leaving. No way. No way. I ain't leaving. No way. No way. The DJ got the party pumping. Hear the people begging for more. Then I look where my partner pointing. It's my woman name I know. Go tell she I ain't leaving. Go tell she I ain't leaving. She grabbed me and pulled me away, telling me I said yesterday, but I ain't laughing in. Hey. So I ain't care what you think. Drinks now got to drink. So I'm sorry for you, cause the bossy no link. I ain't care what you think. Drinks now got to drink. And only women walking up.
That's Mikey. That's Mikey and his song for 2025, indeed produced by Quantum Studios. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But walking this journey through his story, indeed, as we bring you to now in just a little while. And so you said to me while we were talking, I was sharing a story with you. You said you wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Randy Eastman is his name. You wanted to be a doctor, but at what point did you switch to becoming a music producer?
Or more inclined to music. I would say at about 14 or 15 years old. While at Commonwealth, there was a group of boys that came together and we all recognized that we could sing. And we formed a group called Rest Assured.
Mm-hmm.
And from there I knew that I was going to be involved in music. The principal at the time thought she thought that we were miscreants because we used to hang by the the tree across it on the path shop home here. So she would sit from her office and see us up there in a group.
That's Dorian Pyle?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Dorian. She thought that we were, I guess, involved in nefarious activities. And she came across. She said, "What are you doing out here?" We said, "We're singing, ma'am." So she said, "Well, sing for me." You know, the boy shy. We were like, nah. Go to the office. So he took us to the office, and he told the fellas, "We can go to sing. If not, we in trouble." You know? So when we started to sing, then she was like, "Oh my God," you know. She said, "We want you to sing at the assembly next morning." She called Mr. Pilgrim in. He was like, "Y'all are going to NIFCA this year." Put us in NIFCA. We won several awards over about 3 or 4 years. We were managed by Mr. Keith Squires, Mystic, rest in peace to him. The group was led by Ryan Butcher. I think it was more Butcher was his dad, former principal of Princess Margaret. Ryan was an amazing arranger, had a fantastic ear at a very young age. We thought we were, fantastic singers, but really and truly, is that at that stage of development. But the group was very good. To have the opportunity to win gold and silver and perform at the NIFCA Gala, that was amazing. So at that point, I knew I would have something to do with music. And for some reason, artist management was a part of my portfolio as a schoolboy because of the group. Younger singers wanted to learn and to follow us, and I ended up taking them to several school pageants to perform. I don't know, doing workshops in secondary school. I don't know why or what knowledge I had at that time to be doing workshops, but somehow the notion of artist development was in my head. And I was not formally trained. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to help these people to put on a better show and to show that they can grow, they can develop, etc.
So you accepted the mantle that was resting on you. Yeah. And so here we are now, fast forwarding a little bit. Do you remember your first production from Quantum Studios?
Yes, my first production was with my little brother. It did not,
the guinea pig?
Yes. And he's now a fantastic artist, living in Canada. He lived in Atlanta as well.
Drop it, what's his name?
He has several sobriquets, Night Travel Hype, and currently we're known as Ramon Bad. His name is Randy Eastman. And I was like, "Yo, come here, man. I know you always rapping, but check out my beats." So he played the beats and he was like, "Yeah," he started to sing on it, and we played the full, we recorded some stuff. After that, I think my first major production was actually a hit song. I was recorded with Omar McQuilkin, the song My Boo, 2005. It placed 5th in the Party Monarch that year. Yeah, and that was with the band Electric. And I was blessed by Mr. Adrian Mapp, who purchased my first mixing console for me. Started out with a bedroom studio. My mom allowed me to use an old bedroom in the house, and it made noise in their head for several years until I was able to rebuild a new studio in another compartment, another area of the house. And Electric trusted me to record that song, that single. I think that would have been our second year of recording because we were introduced to recording by Pernell Farley. So they trusted me to do that particular song, and fortunately, it was a hit. We had an international artist on the track by the name of Hawkeye from Jamaica. Yeah, so that was monumental for me.
And it was monumental on the radio as well. I remember sitting in studio and playing that so often.
Yeah.
But then that created for you a formula. Or did you realize at the time that you had a formula?
I don't think so.
You didn't? So how did you stumble upon the Randy Eastman technique that would make artists year after year come to you?
I don't even think I know what that technique is up to no person. I think other people have. Kudos to my friend Jason Watson. I mentioned that the other night, Jason Watson, sorry. There was a year that, as a producer, you experiment with sounds. And I remember there was a year that I was experimenting and I shifted my sound somewhat. And he called me, he was like, "Yo, your stuff sounds different." I was like, "Okay. Don't change who you are. Keep that sound that you have, because someday someone is going to attach themselves to it. Hone it in and build it out so that it becomes you." I don't know what the sound is, but he's very keen in terms of my work and my approach, and I thank him to this day for that. I don't know what the sound is. I can't speak to it. I can say for sure, fundamentally, it has to be musical. It has to be melodic, and for me, hotlines must be memorable. The music must be memorable. I think that is something that I try to hold on to. That's what I can speak to at this stage.
Working your space can be, while you're working with artists, and yes, you collaborate, but there comes a time when you have to be by you, because it's like the baker. I'm now finishing this cake, so you all can leave the room, let me finish this cake. You're saying because that's the process?
I prefer to do it myself.
I sense that.
Yeah, I'm very introverted actually. Most producers you will see in the studio with the artists, and they're building and the artist is there, I really prefer to start by myself. And most of the artists will tell you that. I'll tell them, all right, come, just put on the vocal. You're like, that's all? He's like, yeah, go ahead. Enjoy yourself. And I want to spend time understanding the song, understanding the lyrical content, the context, and what needs to be added to the song to lift it and bring it to life. I always say the job of the producer is to be able to hear the final product before it's finished.
True.
Right. So I like that alone time first. And then I will call everybody in, we collaborate, we share ideas. And then, as you said, once this cake is almost finished, you go to the end product. You sit down, you strip it apart. Maybe you've put too much instruments in it sometimes, and they say, okay, let me take that out and hear how it sounds. You know. Yeah, less is more sometimes in the studio.
You got that right indeed. So how do you know when a song is finished?
You call people in and you just play it, you know. And if they're going on the phone where the song is playing, like, all right, something in right here.
Yes.
You try to get different ears, listening ears. I let my mom hear it, I let my wife hear it. She's one of the key ears for me for the studio. I send it to Sluggy Dan, I send it to Watson, and I get feedback from those persons. And then finally I bring the artist in. And if I'm not getting them to move because it's their song, then I know, you know.
It's not quite finished.
No, it's not quite finished.
Something else needs to be done.
Yeah.
How do you avoid not plagiarizing someone else's work?
That's a very good question. Now, I think you have to be exposed to a lot of music. You have to listen intently as well. Funny enough, that happened yesterday. I won't mention the person. Someone sent me a demo for an idea that they had. And they say, yo, this is a song I really want to do. And genuinely so, a song that they wrote. I said, but this sounds really familiar. I said, what do you mean? But I ain't steal it or anything like that. And I said, this song sounds really familiar. They finally found the sound that it sounded like, and I sent them the link. And the person said, oh yeah, you're right. You know, it actually has some level of familiarity. I try to stay away from that. I encourage persons to be original, to try to take a different approach. Even if you're going to speak on the same topic, always have a unique approach to the topic. Plagiarism is something you really don't want to
go there at all.
But it is a hard thing. The reason why I said it was a hard question because I really don't hear lyrics first. So a lot of the music I listen to, I hear the music. I would hear the hook line of the singer singing, but that's something that you could possibly overlook. So someone may bring a lyric that has been used already, and I don't realize, you know. But it hasn't happened yet, thank the Lord.
Yeah, not would.
Yes. Yeah.
So you've set up your studio, you work with people. We saw the one just now with Mikey. And I mean, working with giants like Mikey, a voice like Mikey, you know the energy he likes to put out.
Correct.
Does that challenge you to match, or do you say, no, you come down to me?
No. It challenges me to match. Like I said, I'm very introverted. So the first time working with Mikey or even Edwin Yearwood, I was intimidated, even though I knew Mikey from 2005. We did songs in 2005 together, but at that time, Mikey was not. He was Mikey. He was now coming into the industry, so we were kind of at the same level, even though we're the same age. I look up to him because he's grown tremendously over the years. He's now one of the premium artists in Barbados. So when he came back home, so to speak, you know, I was like, yo, Mike, you sure you want to do this song with me? He's like, yeah, I produce with you, bruv. And over the last 10 years, we've worked together. So it is a very intimidating process because you want to preserve their sound and you don't want to deplete their product. And I'm always saying, suppose I ain't good enough. Suppose what I put out there is not what you want, you know. You're always doubting yourself, but you have to be confident. You have to approach it with tact. You have to approach it with some level of creativity, of course, and be willing to allow people to hear what you have in your head and hope that the two ideas gel and that they mesh.
You mentioned another name, Edwin Yearwood. You know, so you've worked with Mikey, Edwin. Who are some of the other people, artists, Bajan artists for sure?
For sure. I have to give kudos to Peter Ram, Statement, Tony Rebel Bailey, Mr. Dale. Those were some of the first artists who gave me a chance, or recognized artists in the business. Like I said, being a part of the band Electric, Keisha Christian, again, Mikey, Omar McQuilkin, Dale Bess, Brian Lashley in the early stages. I was exposed to working with Jamaican artists, Hawkeye, Elephant Man, and Lexus at a very early age. I had the opportunity to play with Tara Swelly once or twice. I've recorded Dean Fraser from Tara Swelly's band. So many Barbadian artists, Sugary at this point, Walks, who's a soca artist. I've met Pompey's son, Chemist. I've worked with him over the years. There are a plethora of artists, person, I can't remember all of them. Kayla B, who was recently in Crossfire, Barry Chandler, Kadeem. There's so many Pearson, hundreds of them.
Yes.
I really can't sit here and call all the names.
Does it matter to you, knowing that these people have come through you? Not really. You're not that kind of person.
No. once they're happy and they have found and they feel as though I've helped in some way along their path, that gives me intrinsic value.
Teaching, because you're also a teacher.
Formally, I'm currently working at the Ministry of Education.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and you've always said all through this conversation that you like to see other people develop.
Yeah.
And now working with children and finding space for them to be creative. Talk to me about the challenge that presents to you.
Ooh, those years of teaching were some of the most memorable years and also some of the most challenging, because understanding how to utilize resources and to harbor creativity within the classroom, that was a learning process. When I joined the team at Parkinson Memorial School, I never taught before, you know, and going into the classroom and having to deal with behavioral issues, you know, a whole set of different challenges. It caused me to be two-dimensional, the teacher and then the compassionate person who wants to assist, who wants to help, who wants to nurture. And I think that had to come first, because I had to gain their trust as a new teacher in the space, helping them to understand that I want to help you. I want to move you from where you are and take you in a new direction. And acknowledging the fact as well that every child within that classroom didn't necessarily want to do music. They were doing it because it was on the curriculum and they had no choice. So finding a space where you can make the classroom interactive, make it creative and make it exciting for everyone, so that they would actually learn something. And not necessarily end up in a career of music, but they did learn something along the journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just to be able to watch them grow and to see the finished product.
So many of them have passed through my hands. They're now full-time in the industry. I always speak to Mylon Clark, fantastic saxophonist. Shamar Coombs, who is the stage engineer for Machel Montano. Jacoby Paris, who is now working with Dream Solutions, and he's also working with international artists as well. Javan, Aline, Neatra Spencer, they're all working with song companies. Kayla B went on to sing with Crossfire as well as Kadeem. So many of them. Jaisha Samuels, she sings on the circuit right now. Amber Orano. There are a lot of them who really did well in the music industry in various disciplines.
I want to bring you to now. Quantum Studios, you've been working with artists for 2025. Talk to me a little bit about what you're working on and how you're marketing it.
Well, this year, 20 years, celebrating with a celebratory album. It's called Supra Omnia, and we're physically distributing it on a memorabilia flash drive.
I like this, because I said a credit card. It is as tiny as a credit card, but it's actually a flash drive.
Yeah.
This is a different way to present.
Oh yeah, definitely. So the name of the album is Supra Omnia. Supra Omnia means above it all or above everything. And I wanted persons to attach their own context to it. So for me, God above everything, music above everything, family above everything. But you can take whatever you want to mean. So the tracks on the album speak to different facets of life, different stories that can be told over the years, you know. The artwork you're seeing there was designed by Sergio Charles. Big up to Gio Ramirez Designs. Brilliant designer, yeah. And he was the one that conceptualized the logo for Supra Omnia.
Wow.
The name was given to me by my brother. He was actually going to use it for his next album. He said, you know, bro, this name suits you.
I give it to you.
Go ahead, man. Run with it. I was so grateful to him for that. Yeah, so, 20 tracks are on the album. 20 tracks to celebrate 20 years.
20, right?
Yes.
And these are 20 tracks, not just of Calypso alone?
Yeah, the soca. This one.
Soca.
This one is soca.
Wow, this is magic in one hand. It is so tiny, it can slip into your wallet, but it is powerful and packed with 20 great songs.
Featuring some fantastic artists. You have the Rainier Junior Monarch, Mr. Showman. He has 2 tracks on the album. Tony Rebel Bailey, Peter Ram, Statement, Mr. Dale, Mikey, of course. Oh Lord. Sugary, Walks. Yeah, there's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, this is some fantastic work.
We want to celebrate you, for real. Yeah. This again, the marketing is fantastic. The work you've done over the years, super. And I think sometimes it goes over people's heads because they just enjoy the song. And then they realize that, hey, Randy Eastman, Quantum Studios produced all of this. This is great work. So you have a catalog now that says who you are.
600 songs over 20 years.
600?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, I can't even say 600 words in 2 minutes. But you have all of that done. And what's next for you?
Next is just continuing to expand the business. We've done some expansion over the last couple of years and branched into event rentals, event management, event production. It's just about growing right now. My PR person is telling me that we need to look at something different. We are about to launch what we're calling the Quantum Legacy Foundation, where that is a promissory note of sorts to young persons that I create an open space for them to create platforms to perform. Continuing the work that we've done, I've been doing that with Kevin Sluggy Dan Watson for several years, so it's now formalizing it even more to ensure that young people have a platform.
Wow.
To create.
You're doing well. So how can we get a copy of Super Omnia?
You just get hold of me at 252-8384 on WhatsApp or go on the Instagram page, quantumproductions246@gmail.com.
Give me the number again.
252-8384 or email or Instagram, quantumproductions246@gmail.com. You can do
this
the email
is fantastic. As well. It's called Super Omnia, and as we take our leave from you, thank you so much, and I wish you all the very best with your future endeavors indeed. Randy Eastman, one of those who he worked with was Peter Ram, with Jean's Amster Quantum, they're tucking around.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure you heard this one.
Yep.
So as we go out, we take a break a bit right after, but take a look at this one from Peter Ram.
Quantum Production.
100% Bajan. Yeah! This one don't have no guitar, like the keyboard strum. We don't have no bass man, going boom, 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 boom. Look, this one for the whole, and this one for the young. So anytime you see we coming down, 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 we talking around. Stop, we talking around. I can be the big bumper pushing back. We talking it, and bad man ready for the attack. We talking it, you can hear me from all of the gap. We talking it, and the snail just going. When the top man's about this murder, this with them that you have further. First, second, and third, and we come to push it further. What? Big up every top man, Puka, Juanita, and Watson. I feel frog and fat man, travel cover and dapper, and all of me is vision. Mr. Bartender, pass me the rum. We talking it, don't let folk nobody give them some. We talking it, bottle empty, bring another rum. We talking it, this one for the whole, and this one for the young. So anytime you see we coming down, 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 we talking around. Stop, we talking around. This one don't have no guitar, like the keyboard strum. We don't have no bass man, going boom, 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 boom. Look, this one for the whole, and this one for the young. So anytime you see we coming down, 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 we talking around. Stop, we talking around. I can be the big bumper pushing back. We talking it, and bad man ready for the attack. We talking it, you can hear me from all of the gap. We talking it, and the snail just going. Everybody talking true, landship them talking too, rebels them talking too, Mother Sally she talking too. Everybody talking too, talking all them talking.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're approaching 5 minutes to the hour now as we turn our attention to a sport that you all love, football. But have you ever played football while walking? I'm being so serious. So this is for me. Walking football is the concept behind, and the concept behind this is going to be given to us now by a man known as Gavin Luke. Gavin is in the United Kingdom. Gavin, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Well, thank you for asking. How do you do?
I'm fine. Based actually in Trinidad and Tobago.
You are in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, based in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, fine. Talk to me a little bit about why you decided to play the game of football walking.
Okay, so let me give you some context. Basically, the whole concept of walking football started in a large scale in England, where a large number of professional players at first decided they wanted to continue playing after the age of retirement, and they started to play walking football as a hobby, and then decided to make it into something more functional. So they formalized what, and basically what they came up with is a version of football called the walking football. Essentially, some of the main things you would find in the sport is it caters to people really over 50, and it is configured in a way to reduce the risk of while allowing people to still be involved in the sport that they love, which in this case is the sport of football. So some of the rules you'll find you're not to run, and there's things like no slide tackling and no tackling from behind. All these things are intended to encourage people to continue to play the sport without fear of risk of injury.
How do you ensure? I know in a walking race, there's a certain style that you have to adopt so you don't appear to be running. How do you ensure that from the rules that these people who are playing this game of football walking do not find themselves chipping as if running?
Right, so that's a great question. So actually, configured in the rules is actually you must have one must always be down. So that is the trigger to make sure that you're not running. When you're running, usually there's that second where both feet off the ground. So one foot must always be touching the ground. So in the sport, if you are caught running, it be foul in walking football. So the game stops and it continues from where the foul occurred, which is instead of walking.
That has to be so difficult for the referee, though. So just keep your feet focus on the feet to just ensure that they're not off the ground for 6 seconds.
No, it's right. So from the time you start up, you'll find your feet leave the ground. So that's why one foot must always be touching the ground. So when you actually start to play it becomes quite obvious. The spirit in which the members of both teams actually will point out to a offending player that he is running. So
okay.
The game is played at this stage. It's very competitive, but people on both sides will point you out. So to keep in check.
Do those rules also apply to the goalkeeper? Because he has to dart from one side to the other to defend. So do those rules also apply to him or her?
Well, the rules also apply to the goalkeeper. So he can move across briskly, but he must not be running across. So one of the other rules I should mention in football is the ball are not supposed to be raised level of shoulder height. So once again, if the ball is raised above the level of shoulder height, the game stops.
Wow, this sounds like a lot of fun.
Right. So all these little things such a game remain safe for people actively involved in the sport over the age of 50 or so forth.
Right. Is this walking football only played in Trinidad, or is it played anywhere else across the world?
All right. So right now, the game is embraced by a whole number of countries, especially in Europe. It's very popular in England, and it's very popular in Spain. There is no emerging single body managing the fraternity, but there are different fraternities emerging, trying to bring the sport in one place. But mainly, you see a lot of clubs already playing in Ireland, and what's a lot of clubs already playing in Spain. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have 4 teams, some more active than others, but we have 4 teams playing. From what I gather, in Jamaica, there apparently is 1 team started playing, so we need to reach out to them and get in contact with them. And also in England, there's a Caribbean-based team made up mainly of Jamaicans. So that's one of the teams we plan to get in contact with as we pursue our initiatives here out of Trinidad. I should mention, in Trinidad, we are registered. We are called the Walking Football Federation.
Well, soon to be seen replicated across the Caribbean. Gavin, it's good talking to you. Thank you for introducing us to the walking football sport. I really wish you and your federation there in Trinidad and Tobago every success as you broaden the reach across the Caribbean. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
But if you allow me, let me just give some quick contacts for those who are interested in finding out more, especially in the Caribbean. We have a Facebook page. It's found under TTWFF. TT Walking Football Federation. And I will just give a quick contact if you all want to find out more, because we want the sport to grow in the Caribbean.
Right.
The contact is 1754-266-0768.
All right. TTWFF on social. Find it there and learn a whole lot more about walking football. Gavin Luke, indeed. Thank you, Gavin. Have a great day. All right.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. We're taking a break. We're coming back with the news and more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
A look at the news now. An independent senator and member of the clergy is raising fresh concerns that Barbados has become a land where blood is flowing like water, with over 68 murders being recorded in the last year and a half. Senator the Reverend Canon Dr. John Rogers told us that all is not well in the country and that Barbadians should use the government-led regathering to huddle and come to grips with what's happening in society and to see how that situation could be turned around. Senator Rogers openly addressed the issue while delivering the sermon during a church service at St. George Parish Church to mark the launch of Regathering St. George.
Then in the 21st century, the land is being filled with blood again. But not through hard work, not through sweat and tears, but through hatred. Downright hatred and a disregard for the sanctity of human life. By the very children that we have nurtured, our society is now being terrorized by teenagers. Teenagers who once upon a time, back in the day, when strong parents and grandparents ruled our communities, where even if you went home with a pencil that you didn't take from home, you had to carry it back.
Society should also take stock about women pursuing material things, encouraging young men to engage in unlawful activities.
But nobody talks about the girls behind the boys on the block, you know. The ones who need the Remy and the lashes. I'm going right? And the outfit every time they need to go to a fete. And spending money for the big mouth drinks. And I also heard the Brazilian wax. I don't know what that is, but I just nobody talks about that. And as we know, from long ago, the mighty sparrow sang a song. You can't love no money, no love.
Is performing well. Minister in Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for culture, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, says Barbadians have been turning up to regathering events in large numbers, with small business owners feeling the positive effects of the initiative. She gave a report at that church service at St. George Parish Church. Anesta Henry was there. She filed this report.
5 parishes have successfully hosted Regathering 2025 activities so far. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for culture, Senator Dr. Chantal Munro-Knight, the government-led initiative report card is looking well.
We already know that there have been some 32,304 persons that have participated in Regathering activities up to May 10th. We already know that Regathering has offered the opportunity for some 83 small business people to participate and to further make a living. We've engaged 19 schools. We are engaging small service providers. And we know already that Barbadians are saying to us through a national survey that they want more. They want more of the traditional things. They want more activities for children. And most importantly, what they're saying to us, we want to know more about Barbados, our culture, and our heritage.
Thus far, St. Lucy, St. Peter, St. Thomas, St. Joseph, and St. John have hosted Regathering activities. This month, all eyes will be on St. George, which will be focusing on the theme, The Land. Member of Parliament for St. George South, Dwight Sutherland, says the parish will be telling its history and how it will shape the future.
My favorite part of this month would be to allow our young people to know the history, know our heritage, and the impact that our forefathers had on the Atlantic, not only the Atlantic slave trade, but Atlantic trade, the twinning of Carmichael and Constant Plantation.
Throughout the month, St. George invites exploration of its rolling hills and lush valleys, from the historic Gun Hill Signal Station to the expansive vista at Draxhall Estate. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for St. George North, Tony Moore, is encouraging all to gather their thoughts and introspect on the good things happening in that parish.
We have the talent among us, like those in St. Jude's who competed recently in Carifta and did exceptionally well. When we have schools where we have the spirit of the lion that will be challenged, like St. George, that's doing so much good work. When we have St. George Primary in the agriculture and so on, making St. George stand out as a beacon.
Chair of the St. George Regathering Organizing Committee, Graham Clark, says an exciting, innovative calendar of events has been produced.
But one of the things that we are very happy about is the launch of our Sports for Peace program. Among our teenagers and our young adults, there'll be some football games where we center not just on playing football, but also on personal development. And we'll be having a workshop that is built in to this Sports for Peace program among the young people.
And the 2 senior citizens will benefit from the gathering in St. George. Their homes will be painted. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Last year, the National Insurance and Social Security Service paid out $283.2 million in benefits. That's according to their chairman, Senator the Most Honorable Reginald Farley. He told us that the NISSS offers benefits in 17 categories. Senator Farley was speaking at that service at St. Mary's Church under the theme 58 Years of Social Security, Empowering Generations, Securing Futures.
The chief among those, of course, was contributory pensions, around $225 million. The sickness benefits, $13.2 billion. Unemployment and others. But just to give an example, these are the payments which individuals and families can count on when they are short of income. If you're sick, you're laid off, you have an injury. And certainly after retirement, we've been able to enhance the quality of life of individuals by ensuring that there is a pension arrangement in place.
Senator Farley says with many people self-employed, greater financial education on contributions is needed for proper planning to be done, and is pledged to enhance the efficiency of the services offered to the public.
I don't think that enough people make plans for their future, so that those who are self-employed, entertainers for example, who will typically never be employees, they're employing themselves, a number of contractors in construction, landscaping and so on, really need to come and sit with us. We can map out what pension they will get if they make a contribution of a certain level. But in the last year or two, the government has amended the regulations so that as an unemployed person, as a self-employed person, once you make a contribution minimum of $1,200 a year, you can make more, but you will be entitled to injury benefits, to sickness benefits, and other benefits. In short, there's not much difference now between the benefits of a self-employed person and an employed person.
5.5 months of dedicated work have allowed the team at Graham Hall Sanctuary to open its doors following a 16.5-year hiatus. The redesigned attraction is quite the sight to see, with a wrecked aisle and a variety of birds, some of which patrons can feed. Rachel Agard took a first-hand look. She filed this story.
Several locals and tourists were given the opportunity to get a look at the offerings as the Graham Hall Nature Sanctuary opened its doors to the public once again. And a number of people were fortunate to catch a glimpse of a migratory bird, the osprey. On the first day of operations, there was a steady flow of people visiting the Worthing Christchurch attraction.
It has been no small feat, but it has been done in what I consider a very short time, with the redevelopment starting in January of this year. And we are now open today, May the 31st. So within less than 5 months, we have been able to take this facility from what it was when it was first acquired in December, to refresh it, to have it open for the public's enjoyment. And as I said, that's been no small feat. I want to thank the team for all they've done to get us to where we are.
Climatologist Dr. Cedric Van Meerbeck says he is truly enjoying the new sanctuary.
I have roamed the sanctuary several times before it was finished, and I'm so pleased to see how it turned out today.
Visitor Rosalind says she liked that the animals, especially the birds, have adequate room to move freely and are not caged like in a zoo.
I think this is something, I hope it really, really works so well, because I think Barbados needs something like this. You know, we have the sea and the sand, but we also need something else that people can go to, and not just visitors, definitely the local folks.
Guided tours run from Wednesday to Sunday, beginning at 9 a.m., with the last one scheduled to begin at 3 p.m. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
That's news, and more news coming up at 12 noon right here on CBC TV 8. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, authored, or have done anything you think should be highlighted? Email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 17 minutes after 7 o'clock now. This notice in from the National Insurance and Social Security Service to remind you that they're advising that registration for the Solidarity Allowance continues this week, Wednesday through Friday, at these venues. You can see right there on your screen. You can go to the National Insurance and Security Service, Social Security Service, Wednesday to Thursday from 9 till 6, and then on Friday from 9 till 4. At the National Union of Public Workers headquarters at Dalkeith Road, Wednesday and Thursday, a quarter to 8 to 4:30. And then on Friday, same time, quarter to 8 till 4. The Valerie Resource Center at Glebe St. George, Wednesday and Thursday, 9:30 to 5:30. And on Friday from 9:30 to 4. And the Harold Nurse Community Service Center at Jackman's from Wednesday and also on Thursday from 9:30 till 5:30. And on Friday from 9:30 until 4. Now, the NISSS is thanking you for your cooperation. They'll continue to provide updates on registration locations. All right, let's turn our attention now to the ongoing work in St. George, and in particular at St. George Secondary School. There is something phenomenal happening there, and things phenomenal continue to happen that flow from that school as well. We're happy to be joined this morning. Next to me, first of all, is Shanice Seeley. She is the coordinator of the Spirit of the Lion show. And we'll tell you about that in just a moment, but she's brought along her principal, Mr. Dennis Brown, as well. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Principal, I'll start with you because there's something tremendous. There's a air breath, a fresh air coming from St. George Secondary. This is no doubt a mistake. This is something deliberate. What's happening at the school now? What are you doing?
I think it's just as you mentioned. I've brought along one of my colleagues, and I can say that I have a wonderful staff, and persons usually ask, what am I doing? I'm blessed by having a wonderful staff, a staff that's committed to education, passionate about teaching and learning, and that is what's driving really the school forward.
And I'm glad that you acknowledge your staff. Oftentimes, one thinks that is a man as an island and he works on his own, but your staff are working with you to make sure that you're turning out the best in students and that you're corporate responsibly, doing so responsibly in the community that you serve as well. So talk to me about how you interact with your community, those in your environs, so that they embrace what you're doing.
Well, as you're aware, yesterday started the National Regathering Initiative for the Parish of St. George. And I attended the church service, and Reverend Rogers mentioned the ills that we are witnessing within our communities. And one of the things that he mentioned that was quite profound is that we need to see it as a sport. When something is going wrong, when the side that is losing huddle together to reflect on what is happening and how can we win this game. And that's what we're going to be doing today within our community of St. George. We have huddled with our parents. We are huddled with the primary schools in the Parish of St. George. And we're going to be doing our community walk, where we'll be able to meet the citizens, meet the community members, hand out hampers, be able to get the students and the youth to respect and start to love and give that community spirit and love to our communities. And so we'll be walking through from St. George to Chesterfield playing field, and then we'll return to the Glee pasture where we would allow our students who are gifted in their talents to demonstrate to the community that positive things are happening within the Parish of St. George, within our schools, and by extension, Barbados.
And a lot of positive things, though you want to sport, happened at this year's BSAC. St. George Secondary School showed the rest of the schools that there are powerful athletes coming from there. That must have made you tremendously proud.
I wanted to win that 4x4. I know it would have turned Barbados upside down.
You know.
But yeah, so we have our vision is that we intend to maximize all the intelligences and all the various talents of the students. And so we not only focus on our academics, but the technical and vocational, we focus on our sport and whatever gifts that they come with, we intend to develop and to explore those gifts and to make those students wonderful citizens of this country.
You have made us all very, very proud. So great work you're doing at that community known as St. George Secondary School. Now, Miss Aline, you are engaged now as a coordinator of the Spirit of the Lion show. I know Spirit of the Nation show. So talk to me a little bit about what the Spirit of the Lion show is about.
So the Spirit of the Lion show
Miss
is
Seeley,
like
sorry.
the piggy bank off of the Spirit of the Nation
Oh, is
show.
it?
Yes, it is. Where it is a transformational program where we look to foster civic responsibility amongst our students, where we look to enhance their public speaking skills. But we really and truly want to develop a holistic child, not only academically, but a person that's able to function within our society.
So I know the Spirit of the Nation show again. So what are you doing to prepare the students for the final coming up?
So they would have been a part of several developmental sessions. We also were a part of some projects. So they went out into the community where we had a reading day at Workman's Primary. They also attended what I call like a rest day or a fun day at the Cornerstone Senior Citizen Home. They also were a part of some public speaking sessions with Mr. Anton William.
Good.
They attended etiquette and eloquence and protocol session with Miss Sandyfield Kelman. Along with that, they also ended with some team building activities with Mr. Brathwaite.
Is the show structured similarly to how the Spirit of the Nation show is
Yes,
structured?
it is. So
costume, evening wear, all
well,
of that?
aside from the costume, they're going to have a speech where they will speak about their experience throughout the program and what they took from that program. And in addition to that, they're going to end with their formal wear.
Oh, nice. Were the students excited to put themselves forward to be a part of this?
No, they were not.
So talk to me how you got them convinced that they too can show the spirit of the lion.
Well, there was a lot of begging. There was a lot of pleading. There was a lot of, ma'am, I do not want to do this. But I try my best to find ways that I can meet them halfway. In addition to that, I assigned them with some mentors that could help them along the way, because as I say to them, I can't be in so many places at once. So I found persons who are able to communicate with them if I am not there, and that seemed to be working.
Are they competing as individuals or as pairs?
They're going to be competing as peers, but we also don't want to negate those individuals who were actually very outstanding, so they will also be getting prizes for their individual participation.
So how many teams are competing?
There are 9 pairs, but 18 students.
All right, so 9 pairs, and when is the show?
The show is June the 14th, and it's starting at 6 o'clock, and doors opens at 5.
At the school?
Yes, please, St. George Secondary
Good.
School.
St. George Secondary School on the 14th of June is where we're going. 6 o'clock in the evening. Doors are opening an hour earlier, so you can come find your seat and settle. Settle. Get ready for the Spirit of the Lion show, where 9 teams of students from the school will be showcasing the grit, the determination, everything they've learned throughout. There'll be a speech competition that they can share in what they've gathered so far, but they'll end with their formal wear. It is going to be spectacular at St. George Parish Church, the Spirit of the Lion show, the 14th of June. Secondary school. It's still a church, sorry. The St. George Secondary School on the 14th of June, beginning at 6 o'clock. Do we pay tickets at the door, or do we buy tickets?
Yes, you can purchase your tickets at the school.
Okay.
Or you can get your tickets from Jeans Inc. in Sheraton Mall.
Okay.
Tickets are $15 for adults.
That's affordable.
Yes, and persons under the age of 12, they can pay $5, and children under the age of 5 are free.
This is fantastic. I am so excited about this, Principal Brown, because this again shows that you're not sitting down and accepting labels as is prescribed by people. You're saying to people, no, this is a school of excellence. This is a school of children who are just as determined as anywhere else. And so you are supporting this in this activity.
Yeah, and what I would also want to add is that following the Spirit of the Nation show, we're going to have...
I'm going to correct him now.
Yes.
Spirit of the Lion show.
Spirit of the Lion show.
Yes.
Is that we are going to have on the 18th and the 19th of June, we're going to have 2 open days. I call it my mini AgroFest.
Nice.
Where persons can come from the north or come from the east and enter the gates of St. George Secondary School and see what we are offering the children of this nation. You'll come and you'll see students demonstrating their electrical installation, their plumbing, small engine repairs, livestock rearing, which includes poultry for eggs and for the meat, rabbitry, black belly sheep, crop production, barbering, cosmetology, housekeeping, food preparation, food and drinks service, so many skills.
Wow.
And I know that you are surprised, because there are not many persons who recognize that we offer so many technical and vocational skills at our school, and not just offer them, but the students are actually preparing for certification in either the Caribbean Vocational Qualification or City and Guilds.
I am so impressed.
Come visit us. Come visit us on the 18th and the 19th.
Yeah.
The entire Barbados, you're free to just enter the gates and witness what, as some persons have said, a hidden treasure.
That is so very well said. I am stunned. We're looking at on the screen at some of the images of what the students there are doing. Technical drawing, you saw just on cosmetology, carpentry. All of this happens at St. George Secondary School. Plumbing. They are learning trades that are attract real money. I mean, real money. They're also in this fine arts, electrical installation. All of this happening at the mini AgroFest, so to speak, at the school on the 18th and 19th of June. Foreign languages as well. Wow, this is quite good. coming from the St. George Secondary School.
What I also want to share is a little bit of history in that come September, for the first time, a secondary school will offer air conditioning refrigeration.
Congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
Well done. Things are happening, folks. Things are happening at St. George Secondary School. They are proud of it. We are equally proud of them. I want to encourage your full support of all of the activities. On the 14th of June, the Spirit of the Lion show at the school beginning at 6 in the evening. Get your ticket from the school or from one of the stores in Sheraton Center. I won't call the name. There's a cost to that. And then on the 18th and 19th, we're back there again for a free of cost for us all to see and engage with all that they're doing. Thank you. Is it again? Okay, and don't forget today, they're telling me things in my ear, and don't forget today, the school will be coming through your community, engaging with you so that you can see and feel and touch and get a sense of what happens in that space known as St. George Secondary School. It's much more than just a school, it's a community of achievements, and that is what we're talking about when we encourage you to come and be a part of it all. I am so happy to have met both of you today.
It's a pleasure.
You're very welcome, Dennis Brown, who is the principal, and Shanice Seeley, who is the coordinator of the Spirit of the Lion show. We encourage you to be a part of it all at St. George Secondary School. We get to meet some of the contestants in just a little while, so don't go anywhere. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, authored, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
The Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment's Bridges television series is back. Join us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. on CBC TV 8. Don't you miss it.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV 8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 25 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. I am happy to be engaging now with 3 of the contestants of the upcoming Spirit of the Lion show, which is happening at the school, St. George Secondary School, on the 14th of June. I'll say it all the time so you get it. Beginning at 6 o'clock, doors will open from 5. Adults will pay $15. You can get a ticket at the school or from one of those stores at Sheraton Centre, indeed. But, you know, I really want you to come and give these children your fullest support. 3 of those contestants are with me now. There is Asan Arthur, who is carrying the banner for Constant St. George. Asan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining me. Also is Donia Aline. She is representing Gun Hill. Welcome, Donia.
Good morning.
Good. And Shekinah Major is representing Salter St. George.
Yes,
now,
please.
these are all areas of St. George, right, Asan?
Yes, please.
Tell me a little bit about Constant St. George.
See, Constant has amazing history. Not only amazing history, but it has one of the best schools, if not the best school in BIM.
Which is?
Which is, of course, St. George.
Of course, St. George, yes.
See, St. George has so much history since it was made in 1972. See, the teachers, the staff, the overall atmosphere is quite welcoming and quite educational.
That is so well spoken. What is it that made you think that you needed to be a part of the show?
Well, since I am so confident of how the school is educating, I wanted to represent Constant just because of the overall thing that St. George has done for me.
Wow. You got my vote already, Asad. You got my vote. Donia, what about you? You're representing Gun Hill. Tell me about Gun Hill. What have you learned about Gun Hill?
Well, Gun Hill was established in 1818, and it's a tourist attraction. And the cannon was created to help the British industry, so it can let the soldiers connect with other islands.
Mm-hmm. And to protect our coastline as well.
Yes.
Have you been to the signal point there at Gun Hill?
Not as yet, but we're.
Girl, you should go. When you go, you will have quite a panoramic view. You look all around and you see from the coastline right back inland as well. And so, being a part of this show, what does it mean to you to be a part of the Spirit of the Lion show?
Well, the show means a lot to me. It helped me feel more confident in my speaking, and not like it helps me know that I have others there, not only my mentors, but our staff is just so confident and welcoming and supportive.
Who are you partnering with?
Partnering with a boy named Tashawn, and he's representing Gun Hill also.
As well.
Yes.
And so both of you work as a team?
Yes, please.
So you have to visit different locations. How does it work? What are you required to do?
We go to different communities. Like we visited the Workman Primary, and we read books to the children, and we taught them how to love their hair and their skin color. And we also visited the old people home, and we read books to the old people and paint with them and do other activities. And we just go to other communities, interacting with them, teaching them more about us and to learn oral other skills, speaking and all of that stuff.
Donia, I am so excited about this. You speak so well, and I thank you for doing that. You're welcome. Shekinah, what about you, Miss Major? What is it that prompted you to be a part of this competition?
It's been, well, for me it's been nice, and like it like bring out my confidence and have me make me feel more confident in myself. And I have my all the contestants in the show, like all them supporting each other and stuff like that. And not to forget to mention the mentors and also the staff as well. Encourage each and every one of us to like show our confidence more. And yeah.
So who's partnering with you?
My partner is Deshaun Williams. He's also representing Salters with me.
Right.
So yeah.
What do you know about Salters now?
Okay. Okay, Salters, I know about the market, the Salters market. It have very unique places there, that the food there is very good, and it is like when you go there, the people there is very welcoming, and it make you feel like you can interact with everybody there. So
that's beautiful. And so as you get ready for the show coming up on the 14th, what else do you think you now still need to do so that you become a winner?
What I need to do is basically just believe in myself more and be better at my speaking to people, because like, it's gonna be a big crowd at the show. So so yeah, that's basically about talking and being more confident.
Fantastic. Asan, who's your partner, by the way?
My partner is Donja. She's been great. She's helped me with so much and has been supporting me through the whole event.
So Dondre is working with you?
Dondre is working with me.
What are you doing now to get ready for this final, sir?
We are trying to make our speech very unique, very catching, so that we can catch the crowd's votes. Yes, please.
Aha! And that's important to you?
Yes, please.
Do you think you have what it takes to become Mr. Spirit of the Lion for 2025?
I believe that I have more than enough to win that. And also, I'm not only doing it for that, I'm doing it for the school.
You're doing it for?
The school, St. George.
The school as well. And so what about you, Donia? Do you have everything? What are you working on now before the 14th of June?
Well, aside basically to everything out of my mouth, but
I like that.
I'm mostly working on feeling more confident, trying to get rid of the nervousness, because it's just...
You're doing so well. Are you nervous now?
Not really.
Not so much anymore, right?
No.
You see, and that's what it's about. Once you settle your nerves and you settle yourself, you're okay. It just flows from there as it goes as well.
Yeah.
Are you required to do any kind of dance or any performance at all in the competition?
No, please. Just doing our speeches and probably modeling our elegant wear that we're gonna be wearing on the night, and that's basically about it. Well, they will have entertainment at the show, but yeah.
Yes, yes. And you're looking forward to that.
Yes, please.
Asan, tell everybody watching today why they should come to the Spirit of the Lion show.
You should come to the Spirit of the Lion show, not only for the school, but to root for your favorite and most outstanding part of St. George.
Whether it's Constant, Gun Hill, Salters, what other parts of St. George do you know? Glebe, Allerton,
Dash Valley.
Dash Valley.
I'm only focused on
I'm only focused on Constant. I like it. I love it bad. And so this is wonderful. So we get to know more about the parish in which your school is located, from the different spots: Salters, Gun Hill, Constant, Glebe, all of those areas. But we also get folks, when we come to the show, to meet these exceptional young people indeed. They are so confident and they're so ready to welcome you into the community known as St. George Secondary School, to see what they have to offer. And as you have seen for yourself this morning, they are excellent. They are truly, truly excellent indeed. And so I want to congratulate each of you so far for being so bold to put yourself forward. Fourth form, fifth form and fourth form.
Yes, please.
And these are very, very confident young people from the St. George Secondary School waiting to welcome you indeed to the show on the 14th of June. To each of you, I wish you well.
Thank you.
Not just with your entry into the show, but all of your future endeavors. What do you want to be, Asan?
I have been debating a lot recently, and it's been fabulous. It's been so entertaining and so I've been just enjoying it. So I want to become a lawyer.
So shall it be. What about you?
I also want to become a lawyer, and I want to have my own business doing bakery.
So shall it be. What about you?
I would like to be a registered nurse or a pediatrician. So yeah, just looking forward to focusing on my studies and to get where I want to
Again,
be.
so shall it be.
Thank you.
I am so proud of each of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
You're welcome
Thank
indeed.
you.
And thank you for joining me this morning. Asan Arthur, who is representing Constant, Donia Aline, who is the Spirit of the Line contestant for Gun Hill, and of course Shekinah, who is representing Salters as well. So these are just 3 of the 18 contestants you will see on stage, because there are 9 pairs of them on stage on the 14th of June, beginning at 6 in the evening, St. George Secondary School. $15 for the big people like me. For the tinier ones, it's a lot less than that, but get your ticket at the school. I want you to go to the school, and then remember, come back to the school's compound on the 18th and 19th to see everything that these students are being taught and what they're really, really good in as well. And they're looking forward to welcoming all of us there on the 18th and 19th as well. Thank you, all the best indeed, all right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're taking a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. We just shared with you 3 exceptional young people from the St. George Secondary School. I really cannot implore you enough why you should go, why you should continue to support, why you should get to know a whole lot more about what happens at the school and not be caught up in the other rhetoric. Because now you know there are some tremendous things happening at St. George Secondary School that are uplifting and life-changing, providing the children with a platform for them to be and to be really, really great citizens of our community indeed. And so we want to continue celebrating them as we're continuing to celebrate in the Parish of St. George this month as we all gather there for regathering. Joining me now from the Parish Organizing Committee is the Chairman, Mr. Graham Clark, and he's brought along with him the Public Relations Officer in Camille Aline. Both of you, two more exceptional young people, right?
Thank you.
Good morning indeed. Welcome. Graham, yes, you guys are busy already. I mean, the month has only just started. There's a lot going on. You were at church yesterday. And so talk to me basically about what's the plan in general for St. George this month.
Thank you, Pearson. Thanks for having us. And we are honored to be representing the beautiful parish of St. George today. St. George has a lot in store. The theme is the land. The color, of course, is red. We're in our shirts today to represent the parish. We've just heard about the Spirit of the Land show. There are a lot of heritage sites all across St. George, some iconic places. Gun Hill is one. The oldest plantation in St. George, Draxall Plantation, is there. We've heard about the Constant and Carmichael plantations. The place Constant Plantation was the first where sugar was produced in Barbados. And out of the funds that Constant Sylvester, who owned that plantation, bought an island in New York called Shelter Island. So there's an international link as well. We want to explore the heritage sites in St. George. There are 5 core areas that we are focusing on. One would be on sustainability, of course, the environment, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we are doing in the schools about in relation to that. There's sports, of course, and there's quite a wide agenda. Lots in store.
When we think of St. George, we often think of the breadbasket of Barbados. This is where agriculture is almost at the root of who you are, the land, naturally, and therefore from some children of the soil, like yourselves. You're from St. George.
Yes, I am.
You are proud to be, see, he's proud of it already, to lead this organizing committee, pulling all of this together. Why should people leave wherever they are and come this month of June to engage with you in St. George?
Because I think there are a lot of hidden gems, a lot of untold stories about St. George, and we're going to use the opportunity to talk about these stories. We have the Standpipe stories that are scheduled for Gun Hill on the 29th, and I think it's an opportunity to explore, as I said, the heritage sites. There's a gully roast that we are doing, well, now a Gully Hill roast with Peter Ram and company. His family were some of the best breadfruit roasters in Barbados, and we are honoring him and his family by focusing on that gully roast on that day. So I think there's something in store for everyone, and we want to encourage people to come. There's the trailway in the valley. As you know, the old train line which ran from Bridgetown into Bathsheba passes through St. George, and the remnants of that trailway is still there. And that is something that we want to share with the rest of the world, not only Barbados as well.
It is spectacular to be there. I remember we were there a couple of years ago at Mornin Barbados and seeing the mist across the St. George Valley. In all my life, I'd never seen it until I experienced it that morning. It was truly something, and that's what makes St. George so special to me. Nowhere else do we get to see that mist in the early morning.
It's an amazing sight across the valley of St. George, the most arable land that you can find anywhere in Barbados. And you're right, just in the morning when it's beginning to get a little warm, the cold meets the warmth, and you come across Boarded Hall Road, it's as though you are someplace in Canada or in Colombia, where I saw in the hills. You drive through mist, and it is very evident. It's a beautiful sight to see.
I love it. I love it. And so, Camille, there are lots of things that are happening this month indeed. I mean, today alone, let's start there.
Today alone, we will be at the St. George Secondary School for their route march. We're looking forward to that, to engage with the community. I think that will be beautiful. So we'll be there for sure.
And what else can we expect for let's start with this week. What else is happening this week?
So we have our Planet Action as well. We will be launching that on Thursday. Planet Action.
What's that about?
So we are going to be going into the schools within St. George, and we're going to be planting some trees. We're looking to continue with the breadbasket, being the breadbasket of Barbados. So we're going to plant some trees with the children. We also have our literacy tour we're launching on that day as well across the schools in St. George.
So you're planting your roots, you're setting down roots.
Yes.
Which day again?
On Thursday.
On Thursday at the schools. And while there, you're also launching your literacy week. And so this literacy is going to be launched across all of the schools. How many schools are there in St. George?
There are 8 schools.
Yeah, there are several.
Yes, there are 8 schools, 1 secondary school, but 8 schools across St. George.
And so you're engaging with the children. You're starting at the very root, the beginnings, and building from there. And so you want to encourage all of us, all of the peoples of St. George, to be a part of it as well.
Of course, yes. We want everyone to come out from every parish to support St. George. The land, we are the breadbasket of Barbados.
Show off. The breadbasket of Barbados, no problem. So the environment is critical to what you're doing here, and being able to preserve that environment as well.
Absolutely. So that's another focus and a core area for us, environmental protection, protection of our biodiversity. And one of the things that we will be doing, we will also focusing on a parks and gardens type competition. Really? It's not so much of a competition now, but 1 or 2 blocks in the area are committed to enhancing the environs, and we are also going to be painting 2 senior citizens' homes, one in the north and one in the south, as part of our gift to our community and to the seniors who've worked so hard over the years.
I want to hear more about this beautification, though, because and I'm glad if you're doing this, because I think it is so important that communities uplift in some way. And while it's a competition, it's not so much of a competition. We just want people to be good stewards of their community, right? So how can those watching this morning think that they can be a part of this competition?
Right, so we have our social media page. You can reach out to us via We Gathering St. George to get involved with it. We would love to see St. George being very beautiful with all the plants and such like that. Coupled with that, we do have our farm initiative, our Young Farmers Initiative, which will be starting this week as well. We're looking for 10 young persons to engage in some training so that we can actually beautify the whole of St. George and not just the areas that we have scheduled for the beauty.
So We Gathering St. George is the avenue into to make myself available, you know, that we can be a part of this.
Future farmer.
Yes, green thumb and all. And so we want to encourage parents to allow their children, the younger ones as well, to come join this opportunity, really to be trained into farming, not just of decorative trees, but fruit trees and other crops that feed a nation as well. And so that's what's happening. Again, We Gathering St. George. We Gathering St. George is where we go to get all the details to everything, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So today we're walking through the community. We're out and about. On Thursday, we're planting trees and launching the literacy competition. But now we open the windows really to you to We Gathering St. George to say, I want my child or my young people to be a part of this farming opportunity, because we're celebrating the land in the parish this whole month. And that's only just a taste. There's much more to come as the month continues, but I got to leave it right there.
Thank you.
I want to thank you so much for coming in, joining me this morning, and you're welcome back. You're always welcome back. Our doors are open to helping you with this as well.
Thank
so
you.
all the best, all right?
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Graham Clark and Camille Aline from the Parish Organizing Committee of St. George. Graham is the chairperson. Camille is the public relations officer, and they're saying, reach out, St. George, reach out. Absolutely. They can fill you in. They can fill you in on what's going on, and you are encouraged to be a part of it all. We're back in just a moment.
Absolutely. Thank
you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Just want to remind you that the Solidarity Allowance registration continues, folks. It continues indeed. Look at your screen. Look at your screen. The National Insurance and Social Security Services advises the registration for the Solidarity Allowance will continue from Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, until this coming Friday at these locations and times. You can go to the National Insurance and Social Security Service Wednesday and Thursday from 9 in the morning till 6 in the evening. And then also on Friday from 9 till 4. Also, you can visit the National Union of Public Workers headquarters at Dalkeith Road Wednesday and Thursday from 7:45 until 4:30, and on Friday from 7:45 till 4. The Valerie Resource Centre at the Glebe St. George Wednesday and Thursday from 9:30 to 5:30, and on Friday from 9:30 to 4. Or the Harold Nurse Community Resource Centre at Jackman St. Michael from Wednesday and Thursday 9:30 to 5:30 and Friday from 9:30 till 4. The National Insurance and Social Security Service thanks you for your cooperation as they continue to provide weekly updates on registration locations. That's it today, folks. We thank you for staying with us, and my little crew joins me wishing you a lovely today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning.